Hello and welcome to another episode of Malt Magic and More. Pointing my face instead of some else, but I'm just happy to be back. It's the After the Show.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello, I'll get back in frame, shall I? So there we go. Welcome back, Danny.
Hey, he's back.
Welcome back.
Good to have you back, Danny.
It's been a while since
I was going to say, we're ripping the piss out of you, but it's good to have you back.
It's been a winter of Mephistos. Yeah. Paul did do really well. To be fair, and I felt threatened, and I thought I was being usurped at one point, but it's good to be back.
Never.
Nah, never. Well, that was an episode.
I want to get out is those Gleavery give me a +5 to sleight of hand checks. Like I need more dexterity boosts.
Oh, nice. Nice.
+13 now on sleight of hand checks. I am pickpocketing like a motherfucker next week.
You are, yeah.
Might help you stop breaking the fucking lockpicks, to be honest, mate.
So, yeah,
well,
I mean...
I'm glad you let me refund armour, though, because I realised I bought it and it's actually, from the necrotic resistant, my armour class is worse off. And I had to attune to it, and I've just attuned to the Ring of Spell. I was like, balls.
Yeah, I've...
That's the only problem with Mephisto. It reels me in with loads of stuff. I buy it because I've already attuned to my max amount of things.
Well, that's the problem I've got with the shield at the moment, is I've used the Deadly Rebuke, or whatever it is. Is it Deadly Rebuke?
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadly Rebuke. I've used that a couple of times, but I will need to open my reactions soon. So I'm not going to get to use that very often, and I do not use any of the other two things. Yes, it gives me immunity to cold, which is very nice, but I'm resistant to cold anyway. And I've just thought, do you know what? I'm going to... Anyway, what I want to do is get rid of that, but maybe keep the Deadly Rebuke or something, or I don't know what. Anyway, I'm going to keep the shield for now, because I don't have anything else, but then I was hoping that I would get something else to replace it, and obviously I was hoping for, and being cheeky, to see whether I can get the Ring of Evasion at some point, because that would be cool, because my dex is shit, and when I have to jump out of the way of area of effects, it would be nice if I could at least succeed it a couple times, because it's not, I don't think it's particularly an OP item. It's like, you failed, I'll roll to succeed on that one. I can't do it all the time, so fine. But anyway, we'll see if Mephisto ever gets it.
You'll eventually, I can't remember what level, but you'll eventually get like Indomitable on Fighter.
Yeah. I have just got that.
Oh, nice. That's very cool.
Yeah. I have just got that. So
yeah,
that's very cool.
I've got loads of rings.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
but you then have to use whatever it rolled, which could still be a fail.
Oh, it's a re-roll, I see.
I think.
Which could be worse.
I'll double check on that one. It means it has the potential of being better, of course, that's fine. But it is different to luck in you being able to choose. It is you have to use that you roll. That is correct. Whereas the Ring of Evasion only works on dexterity saving throws and only is evasion. And doesn't do what evasion does for Danny. It literally means that I will succeed it, therefore take half. And it just, if it's bad, fireball comes down, it just would be nice just to be able to just be like, on that occasion, yeah, maybe not. Anyway, we'll have to see. After all, I'm trying to be a tank and damage dealer.
So anything that gives me... a big hulking fat...
Kind of...
Well, not fat, but huge bastard in Dwarven plate armour. So.
Yeah. I am clinking all the way down behind you, so I have a disadvantage on stealth. But when have we stealthed? Like twice in the past 6 months. So
as a group, yeah, but Danny stealths all the time.
He does, but I don't.
We just send Ander.
Yeah, just send him first, and I'll be fine.
I can literally just go scout ahead there, can't I? And then report back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, can you still go invisible? Was that your cape, or...?
I was thinking literally have... If I can... Oh, right, so if I go to the cape, I can literally walk silently, but with my plus a million for my stealth checks would be right anyway.
Yeah.
You still got your cape anyway, so...
I was
still got your
I've
cloak.
got loads of rings, and I was like, I could have one on each finger. I can only attune. And with the cloak...
There's a lot of shit in that shop, which you guys could make use of.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to go back in and just ask what have you got, because that's the trouble. I've asked for stuff I think I need, but hang on a minute, brains over here has probably thought of a few things. So
doesn't mean it's cheap.
No, but nothing though.
That's the other problem. I'm now skint.
Matt's cryptic about what he's.
Actually, I'm not skint because I sold some more armor. So yeah.
But yeah, you're right. He is cryptic about what he has in his store, and that's for a reason.
Yeah, I want to know what Kirik wanted.
Well, we will find out.
Find out next week.
Maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those ones.
It's because basically I was, whilst you guys were in that scene, I was looking at my new spells to see what they can do.
And components you require?
And components I will require for that. And there's one that it's going to take a while before I can get that. But yeah, I was looking. And then I started going through my notes over... because I looked at my equipment and I was like, there's some items I'm pretty sure... there was one specific item I'm pretty sure I bought, but hadn't put in my inventory yet. So I was like, is there anything else? So I found 2 other items that I could not remember. Well, one, I couldn't remember why I bought it, and only just found out because it was for a spell that it was a spell specifically for Theatre Golden, so it was planar binding. So I would be able to bind. I'll be able to bind a fae or fiend or an undead into any area that I'd like. And I was like, that sounds pretty good for the Ladrin. Especially if I then combo that with another spell, it would be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But now, hey, might still be of use. But now
I was about to say, we got a fiend. We got a fiend. We need to go up against.
I have 1,000 gold piece jewel just lying around in my my haversack that I don't need to use for anything else. But whatever. And yeah, and then I found another item that I was like, we never actually identified this, and we need to. So, just gonna see if Mephisto can check it out.
That was what that magical orb was. I was like, I have no idea. I've just got to go and find out what this is.
Yep.
So,
sometimes you just go through your notes in your inventory and you're just like, what is that?
What is it? I've got it.
What is that? But yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, that Dwarven plate's now good. I could put my shield away and still be at the level I was before. So 20 was what I used to have with shield, and now I'm just 20 or 22. So at least I now have the option of... And that feels better. 20 or 22 feels better in the fact of, 20 and I'm double-handed on the sword. Or on a... Because I think it's all about going into a fight and going, how hard are these guys hitting? If it's 28, 29 on a regular basis, put the shield away, because it's not doing me any good.
Yeah.
Yeah? Weirdly, the more they hit, the more you don't need a shield. Whereas if it's actually making a difference and they're hitting with 19s and 20s, it's like, I'm going to keep this out. So...
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
That's a good point, actually, because if you put your shield away, because if they're 30 to hit, it doesn't matter. Then you can just two-handed swing and roll the D10 instead. Is that what
and do some more damage. Basically, it's is this making a difference? If it's up at 28, 29, and that's where they're hitting me, it's not doing any difference. I'm still going to get hit regardless, and I'm literally losing the ability to roll a D10. So sod it. Whereas, and also there are a couple of other things. Whereas there are a few items a few times when, I've still got the same feat that I had before, or the feat, whatever trick that I can, if I'm holding a shield, help you guys out. But I have other ones, hopefully in the future, that will also help you out. So again, it's that pick of, do I need to be holding the shield to help you guys out, or do I need to be using something else that means that I don't have that out? That's just a really interesting, thing.
You haven't got. Yeah, you haven't got Shield Master, have you?
No, I decided against Shield Master. I have gone with something else though.
Yeah.
That we all talked about, and hopefully that's going to screw some guys up with my reaction. So again, that reaction of having a shield out, I only have one reaction, so it's either protect you guys or I do an opportunity attack. And opportunity attacks are going to really start coming back as quite useful. So
nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
because you both have.
Hopefully, you'll never have to.
Go ahead, Danny. Go ahead.
Go on. I was just going to say, hopefully you won't have to protect me with any reactions because I'll be fey.
You should be okay. My reactions is to look after Bothrid and Kirik. Right? And if I can look after Kirik, he can also buff me as I'm protecting him. If it's sort of that kind of thing works. And also, there are a couple of times when, yes, I know that Bothrid will be raging, but it'll still be good to actually give him some ability to move around the field more than he would by himself. And that's what's really interesting. So all shall be revealed once we actually then talk, when I talk to the coop, hopefully. But yeah, it's all good fun. And I was like, do you know what? It's been a tough episode. Let's not go and talk to them. Let's just do a shopping. That can come later, because that is going to be an exciting chat with everyone. What are your guys' thoughts?
What annoyed me is there was quite a bit that I wanted to try and act out emotionally, but then I was just fucking ended up buffering and stuttering and getting mad at my internet instead, which was annoying.
Yeah, that was tough. Although I really did enjoy, like, regardless of that, how Anda was handling that scene. I thought it was really, really interesting.
Yeah, the way Anda handled that scene was really interesting, and it wasn't perfect, and that was
I was really because I was really looking forward to like the like post adrenaline Anda to have to deal with. Oh shit! Yeah, it's like the I killed him, but at what cost kind of thing. I thought that was really cool, and just feeling like
I went for the survivor's guilt approach.
Yeah, because that's really cool. It's like, oh, all this thing that I could do, all these things that, like, I killed the other two guys, but like now I'm completely powerless because there's nothing I can do here. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really good.
I think it was nice that Captain Charm had no charm, and that worked because. He wasn't. He didn't walk into the pub and charm all of Captain Swift's crew to come back and help. He came in the way he did, and that was great because it worked. That type of thing was just fit really well, and it had nothing to do with the player playing him was pissed off with his internet, but
if anything, that just helped.
It did help, honestly. It was like it just meant that you were in the right game for it.
right mind frame.
That's the right mind frame. Yeah. So,
but we have our first teleportation spell, guys.
Yeah. Word of recall is clutch, isn't it? One action. Just to get back, it's not long at all.
It's an action just to basically go wherever.
Yep.
Wherever you are.
Yeah,
so basically, we can retreat anytime we want.
Yeah. Yep.
But also, like we said, we can get. It may take us a long time to get there, but it'll take us 6 seconds to get back.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can literally go to the Isle of Dead, cast door, lock off.
Yeah.
I could, technically, yeah, I suppose. I just could. But like,
that's pretty bitchin'.
If the situation gets... just go to the Isle of Dead, cast Dawn on the castle, and then piss off.
If we... if we do end up leaving, all we need to do is move your word of recall to the house next to River's End. That sort of thing.
Yeah, and that's another thing I think Matt and I need to chat, because there's kind of nothing on the spell that says that it's kind of really open-ended of whether you can have several kind of places as Word of Recall. So it's kind of something
okay.
that like
I did
has
actually.
to...
Yeah, I did think it was only one, but that's a good point. If it doesn't say that, that's interesting.
That would kind of be my interpretation, but then after I was looking at it, I was like, oh, maybe like it doesn't specifically say. But it's that thing. It also doesn't specifically. It doesn't say kind of thing. It's a really weird one. But I think it's very much a rules as intended. I think it's meant to be one place. But yeah.
The only thing it does say is if you attempt to,
we could just have loads of safe houses all over the place.
It does say if you attempt to cast it in a place where is not dedicated to a deity. So basically, it has to be a temple to that deity, doesn't it? Or does it?
I mean,
but there is nothing within that spell that says you can't specify more than one location.
Yeah.
So Kieran could theoretically just go around Niling going Temple of the Raven Queen, Sanctuary, 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 Sanctuary.
I was about to say, and that's it. You could build a small sanctuary at the house or whatever. So
there's a 7th level spell for clerics, which is literally Temple of the Gods, which is basically like it's basically
build
mansion
a temple.
That I can, which is eventually what, like, just unveiling a little bit. It's eventually what Kirik's working towards in Deluin. It's basically what
does
it
it
wants
actually
to do.
make one? It's not a 24-hour job. It's like permanently creates it.
If you recast it, I think if you recast it over like a month
the
or
mansion
something.
spells,
okay.
if you cast it in the same spot over a certain period of time, it becomes permanent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but that's basically what Kirik's going to build up to. It's to Temple of the Gods there, which I think is really neat.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, no, there's another couple of things. So. Yep, go for it.
Trekking through Shiver Spire Mountains, we need to see this camp. Go boom, Temple of the Gods, and we just keep there for the night.
That's basically the idea. Is Temple of the Gods, and then we go into Temple of the Gods to have a Heroes Feast.
Oh yeah, we do.
That's like just ridiculous. That's when clerics just get stupid.
Need to buy a chalice.
Yeah, need to buy a jeweled bowl.
Yeah, a jeweled bowl for 1,000. I will chip in. I will. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. That's probably.
To be fair, if Andy gets to a high enough level, he can cast certain mansion spells as well.
Yes,
that's true. That's true.
And Bard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
And then that's when Zapanir will come crashing down and kill us all.
Absolutely.
Matt, these guys are getting too big for their boots. Let's take them down.
Don't worry.
So, we can't.
Point out, I killed them not last week, the week before.
That's true. That's true.
We also had. We kind of RP'd what we wanted to do, but real list: Isle of the Dead, Zapanir, Prophecy, Swordy McSwordface, and
Stillman, and
Greenflower, Fiend. Do we have anything else? I don't think River's End gave us
just a few items on the to-do list then.
Yeah, just a few.
Mm-hmm. Just a few.
Go and see the orcs, but that's only because of mild curiosity. I don't think there was anything else particularly pushing us in any particular direction down there. We've now done, the Phaliad Forest and Phaliad.
So we're going to have to come back there in a year.
You need to take Vraco back.
Yeah, I need to take Vraco back.
Yep.
Didn't we also need to eventually do Phaliad because that's where part of the prophecy is?
Is it?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
We were just there. Why didn't we fucking...
We thought that was one of the kings.
It's... Yeah.
Because you died.
Yeah.
We thought that's where one of the kings was.
Which,
but to be fair,
I think we found it, and we need to talk about the fact that we found a king on that throne.
That is true.
So...
That's true.
However, sorry.
I'm not
sorry.
That again. I'm not spelling that again.
But yes, we were talking about the 3 areas where there's the prophecy, But the first prophecy bit we got, well, technically first bit was nowhere. It was next to the Loch Esamir. I think the second piece was then Ironforge. So, interestingly, this is the first time we're actually going to one of the places where there was a king, and that's also where we think there's going to be a piece of the prophecy. Don't actually fully know whether we've been told that, because that was such long ago, maybe even before streaming. I can't remember whether that was actually something.
I think it was before streaming, because I'm pretty sure like when Kirik joined, there was already talks of like eventually we're going to have to go north to the mountains.
Yeah, it definitely was. So, I'm sure that was where one of the pieces of prophecy was. They all said that you do need to do that before we go to Faliad, and then obviously things changed and we went up going there. But there was still talk of the fact of going to Faliad. So I still think that what I thought were 3 parts of the prophecy: Ironforge, up north, and then in the Faliad. And we've just done Faliad, and maybe we have to go back because there is actually a part of the prophecy in there. The other thing that I forgot to ask in all the time you were there, actually not ask because Dargon intentionally didn't go in back afterwards. It's meant to be part of Nylin. That is where there was one of the thirds, one of the kings. But they are in the Feywild, which means that there is a rift from Nylin to there. So actually, if we fixed everything, would that mean that there's no rift to the Feywild? Therefore, how can it be part of the kingdom? Do you see where I kind of went cross-eyed 3 weeks ago?
Might be in terms of like planes and how the planes work. It's weird.
Yeah. Now, obviously, it could be that it's intentionally that there is always, or has always, even before Nylin broke, a gap through to the Feywild there. Or it happened so long ago that city used to be in that forest and was sucked through into the Feywild. I don't know. We haven't talked about it, but that's one thing that's weird.
It was always there because when I spoke to my dad, she said my friends used to go there for solace and protection, and that's kind of a sanctuary. So it was always there. But I think when we go back to the Feywild next year for the vaccination, we need to ask the Fey King and probably let on a little more about who we are and what we're doing to help us.
But yeah, it will be very interesting to know where is the rest of this prophecy. Have we already been told it? And let's get reminders of that basically. But we're going up to Shiverspire anyway. We'll find something up there.
Yeah, we might learn a little bit more once we get to Shiverspire, and once we fight a non-dead ancient dragon. Great.
It's very likely where Zappany is going to be. I'll put Shiverspire. Let's be fair.
Sounds like nothing could potentially go wrong.
Are we going with the Malt Magic's, the Malt Master's help?
I don't know.
Well, actually, what would be interesting to say, because the Coopers went and he was like adopted your son, and he says as employees or whatever, and start thinking you as one of us, that might change the whole dynamic now.
It could do, and also here's a bit of a mind blown scenario. The prophecy states the fact that they are protectors until we have arrived, and we have arrived. Are we going to become the Malt Masters as they all disappear? So actually,
I have the feeling that they've lived for a long time, but they don't live forever.
And it was just something that, as one left, I know I was under unusual circumstances, but it's one of those like foreshadowing things of. Are we going to come back and find no one in the chairs, if that makes sense? And actually it's like, well, under new management.
Yeah, there's new management.
Yeah,
that's going to be fun.
Pretty much it.
Further notice.
It's
a big show. I think once we get up there, and I don't really know where well, I kind of know where Kirik is with the Malt Masters. He's a bit like, yeah, after like hearing from River's End and hearing from everyone, it's like, actually, they might just be trying their best, but actually they're not doing a very good job.
I think that's that's the same way.
Yeah.
It's not inherently evil, not actually trying to be bad, just old and inept, set in their ways maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he very much has gotten to the point where it's like, because to me he's like above halfway through the cleric process, because it would be level 20, but they're not going to get that. So it's like he just dances to someone else now. And the idea of like changing the tattoo was something that I've had like in real time, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. It's like to be like something that he wanted to do, that was something that never quite sat right with him. And then the whole thing with Vraco was like, cool, yeah, like he made a promise to Vraco, and now it's like, and that tattoo that he now has is basically the remembrance of that promise.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, yeah, I want to Raven Feather and the Lightning Bolt, because yeah,
no, it's nice.
I've got a couple more ideas for like stuff down the line that relates to that as well, which hopefully we'll get to see.
Cool.
If we don't,
that's good.
We'll just die
I'm thinking
fighting a dragon.
you were going to come back to life, and you were going to choose.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed playing that moment because I was like, yeah, it makes sense that he doesn't go. So, and in his mind, I think he's very much set to not go. But then he was like, wait, they like if you had decided to, like, if Dagon had been the first one to be resurrected, Kirik probably wouldn't get back. He probably would just be like, cool, Dagon's safe, so I can just go. But because you went with Kirik, well, because they went with Kirik first, he was like, wait, they're using like all this power to get me first. Well, what happens with him? It's like, and he ultimately just didn't want to risk like not having Dagon essentially getting back, because
what did you cast, by the way?
Raised Dead.
I cast Raised Dead. Yeah.
Raised Dead. So the Malt Master is the only one that could have cast any type of spell was the Blender. And had to be True Resurrection.
Oh, that's a hell of a one, that one.
There's a big one.
Yeah.
That's 9th level, isn't it?
9th level.
That is a 9th level spell, and she said
25 grand.
25 grand. Jesus. That's a lot that Mephisto spent there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although you guys,
the Malt Master,
you guys
fronted it.
So. Yeah, but you guys stock him up afterwards.
I was about to say, I think we just gave him 25,000 gold worth. So, yeah, between the two of us, we've done all right.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that's.
I accidentally picked Kirik first for the. Well, I picked you first for the reason where I thought you'd save Dagon, but actually, if I'm really lucky, I actually picked you first.
Yeah, no, that works, and I actually that makes sense somehow. That actually in that order, all right.
Yeah, they're safe, so it's all good. Because he already knows the hand is safe because he didn't see him.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, cool, my job's done. But no, like Ander was definitely on the right track. It was like, okay, we only have one, therefore the one that needs to go is Kirik, because I know Kirik can bring people back. So and I think that was the first time I used Raised Dead. So
that was
an expensive diamond. That was.
Was that 1,000?
Well, I mean, if you look at the classes that can actually cast resurrection spells, it's relatively small.
It is. Now, what I did know recently is wizards can do it once, but only transmutation once. Not once, sorry. Wow. I did not know that. But transmutation wizards can do it.
They can, yeah.
Which I was like, hey, I was like, hang on a minute, that's wrong, because on the debates of clerics are the ones who have the godly power, therefore the only ones who can heal, but bringing people back from the dead is necromancy. So that is something that wizards can pull, and therefore that's why, and again, it's only a small member of them. But yeah, clerics and wizards, druids I think can do it.
Druids can do that.
But that is.
So it depends on the spell. So true resurrection is clerics and druids only.
Yep, for sure.
I think because I've spent obviously a lot of time making sure I got this right. You've then got resurrection, which was bards and clerics.
Yeah.
Reincarnate is only possible by a druid. Interestingly. Raise Dead is the one that's got the most scope, but even then it's only 3 classes. It's Bard, Cleric and Paladin.
Yeah.
And then Revivify is Cleric and Paladin.
Oh, wow. So Paladins can as well. That's quite cool.
And Druids, I think. I think Druids can Revivify?
Yes, they can on Revivify, sorry.
Because I think both
some
can
of the newer
Revivify.
rules. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's with the additional spell list, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyric's got a fun 1 for 6 level additional spell. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Well, when I leveled, I can pick some 3rd level spells now. It's obviously small change to you, but some of them though were ones that you've used, talk with, and all that sort of stuff. I was like, I don't need any of them. But obviously, I won't tell you what I've picked until I actually use it, and then it won't work, and you still won't know how it works. So there we go.
Oh, but you've got third level bard spells.
Because all of my calls
a lot of fun.
And the one I've picked is one of the additional ones, thanks to Tasha. So
nice. So I definitely want to know what it is.
Yeah, it's a fun one as well. It
works. What I try and do with my bard spells is go like buffs and stuff. Another one of those.
There are some.
I mean, that was a conversation that you and I were having, Dave, actually earlier in the week, is about choosing spells not just for like damage dealing, but making sure that you're doing so to really think about the wider scope of a battle, and making sure that I'm a bard, but should my spells just purely be focused on what I'm doing? No, they should be focused on what everyone else in the fight is doing, and this is the way we as a group fight, and so if I use this type of spell it can help X, Y and Z, and that whole action economy piece, which we spent probably almost 2 hours discussing various aspects of your
it was about right, because I mean just for also clarity for all the viewers, we have made a couple of changes that were kind of like, because I didn't make any like real proper decisions at Warlock initial, we've gone, this is a good time to sort of update that. I'd got a few faux pas in, not really know what I'm doing, so there's a couple of changes there, but they are you can see why they've been made now as well, and that, I think that's really good. Interestingly, because of the way it was going, we did have to do a bit of action and economy. I'm not going to use these very often, right? Because actually what I am going to move to is the manoeuvres, and I think they're going to be really great. I just think that on occasion it's going to be nice that if I get the chance prior to a fight, there's a couple that I can do that is going to help. And that, yes, the vast majority of them are still only to help me, but that's so that they help me and my manoeuvres to help other people. Then we're all okay. So, and it just happened that way.
It's all very situational, and that's, I mean, you look at the way Kirik chooses his spells after a long rest, and some of the stuff I do with Bothrid after a long rest as well, and about the spells he picks are very much around what are we doing as a group, what are we likely to face, how can I better make today successful. So there's going to be a couple of things that
a lot of my choices.
Go on, Danny.
Sorry, I was going to say the choices I make is after me in an initiative order. So if it's like, if Kirik is after me, I'm more likely to give an inspiration die, so he can add it to his spells or use unsettling word. So then they have to do a saving throw if Kirik attacks him with the spell, I'll do a debuff if I know Dargon is going next to hit him really hard with something.
And I
That's
suppose
playing to the class
it
as well.
depends who's
If
after
this is
before
more
me.
around game mechanics,
And,
then
Yeah.
I want to play this sort of character. That's perfect.
And I suppose that maybe sometimes when we've got to start thinking about, okay, yeah, I am a fighter, I get 2 attacks per action. That is really clutch. However, on occasion, is it worth me firing out a guiding bolt, doing some damage, hoping that I hit, obviously, but knowing that one of you guys are afterwards and you need advantage? Maybe, Danny, you actually shout out that you can't get cover. You need advantage to get your sneak attack. Right, I'll give it a go. Right? I can also do that maybe while holding an action surge to one side. So if that completely fails miserably, I go, fuck it, I'm just going to attack twice anyway. So that type of... And that's helping you guys using my action surge. And I'm happy to do that because sometimes it's just a bit, I don't know, kind of just goes as a wasted, attempt. So that would be quite good. And I suppose there's other ways. The Path to the Grave. Garrick, if you're the first or you're ahead, then that type of thing can be quite useful. Also, some of my maneuvers will also give some other people extra AC or extra damage on their go, and that is also really important because it could well be that we line all of that lot up and
to one big hit.
One big hit.
We've done it before.
That was basically
Kieran, you've done Path to the Grave and I've hit a nat 20.
Yeah, that's basically like I think that's
Like me as a DM, I just put my head in my hands and cry.
That's the game ending thing because it was very interesting because I was like looking at just possibilities and just playing around with numbers, and I was like, oh yeah, like I give a holy weapon to Dargon because he gets 1 billion attacks a turn potentially, and I then Path to the Grave, but actually Path to the Grave is better used, whereas like Holy Weapon is better used on Dargon, Path to the Grave is better used on Ander, because it's Path to the Grave is one attack and it's like one big hit, and Ander hits like one hit and like blows us all out of the water. It's just like it's not even close.
But also something daft like if I did Guided Bolt and it worked, then it would give Kirik advantage on inflict wounds if he was close enough. And an advantage on inflict wounds is going to be very important because you want to make sure you hit. And if you do hit...
And that 20 on inflict wounds at the moment is...
So,
ridiculous.
weirdly, what you do for Ander, I can now maybe start doing for you as well. Because the other thing, if it's touch, you get advantage... Because touch is melee, isn't it? So... I think, and I'm going to have to double check this because it's been one of those things I've been looking through, but I've been trying to find any way of getting advantage on people. And there are a couple of ways I think I can. If I can, and I can get advantage for you guys that isn't just using Guiding Bolt, but Guiding Bolt's still there, so it can still be useful, if I can still get that to you. I think there was one I was looking at. I don't know whether I've picked it now, so I may not have done this, but if I can get someone prone, then I can basically get it prone next to you, and then that's it. Inflict wounds, bang. You can potentially get a nat 20. So that type of stuff's going to be really, really interesting.
There's also a stupid spell. It's very unlikely that I'm going to pick it for the very foreseeable future. So I don't mind saying about it. It causes 14d6 damage.
Holy crap! 14d6. That's 7. Yeah. Wow. All right.
And it reduces the target's maximum hit points by the amount of damage dealt as well.
Oh, good lord! So yeah, that's an average of 42 points. That's ridiculous.
It's pretty stupid.
Is that blight?
It's harm.
Harm. Oh yes, I have heard that. Yes.
And then I've got heal, which is just heal. Gain 70 hit points, please. Heal is just also stupid.
If you got heal.
Those two are like the polar opposites.
Yes.
It's like
heal and
you
harm.
heal,
and they're both
you dead.
Yeah.
And they're both 6th level, so I only have one spell slot, and I'm only going to have one spell slot for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, that one stays around. And again, isn't that the same one that also gets us home? So it's either we finish this fight or get us home. That
is the same one. That gets us home. Is the same one for Hero's Feast.
Oh, yes. Well,
But-
that one's all right because that one is that's preparation. So
Yeah, you cast
don't
it.
always.
Yeah, heroes
but-
used to cast it.
yeah, cast it at night,
But
go
yeah.
to bed, then you're all good. Yeah.
Yeah, Word of Recall. Word of Recall is going to be the big one, I think, for
Yeah.
for the foreseeable future. That's going to be the one that's going to be prepared.
So interestingly, I've just
It's
been
pretty
looking. I could potentially use one of my maneuvers to give me advantage. Therefore, weirdly, could then try and use Guiding Bolt, so that I have a greater chance of it hitting. Because my Guiding Bolt is not very good for hitting. And if that does happen, then I have essentially used that to give you advantage, which could work out quite well, pulling all our lot together. So that'd be very interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to
I really want
the
to
first
test
fight
because
that we get into.
Yeah.
Plays really well.
Say again, Danny.
I said I really want to tell you what my new spell is because it lends itself really well to the conversation we're having right now. But at the same time,
Leave it as a surprise.
Leave it as a
Don't want to
surprise.
spoil it.
I'm
That one's going to be good fun when you pull it out.
Yeah,
I'm doing that.
because I'm also looking forward to using the new ability of the shield, because that one is awesome. I can't wait. That one's
So you
just so
all
good.
should now have awakened items. You've all done.
I think we do.
to
Yeah, I
awaken
think
them
we
now.
do.
Now, just out of interest, Matt.
Yeah,
If
I've
I
got
under-
my clo-
If I understand correctly, I technically, and this is the thing, I don't. Dargon doesn't know this, but I think I know that it's maybe possible. Greater Restoration should actually bring back my memories. Is that correct?
Yes. Thinking about that one.
So I might just do that in the next episode, maybe.
You could also do the same to Bothrid and stop tormenting the poor fucker.
Yeah, and that as well. I'll do him first, then me.
I mean, I could, but I'll be spending.
yeah,
I could, but I'd be spending stuff. So
yeah. I'll do it with the sword over 2 days. It's fine. We're not going anywhere.
great. Yeah, great. Cool.
But yes, no, you're right. The effects of the Feywild is, Greater Restoration should sort that out.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, Simao and I were having an interesting conversation. I know we're almost over time, but we're having an interesting conversation about you and your resurrection and which spell would be used to resurrect, because certain resurrection spells get rid of curses.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so actually...
That would have changed you a bit.
Yeah, if you had
You wouldn't
picked
have
me
been a
first,
werebear.
I would not
Yeah.
have been a werebear.
You would not have been a werebear.
I did read that, and I completely glossed over it. Danny, you picked correctly. Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, that was very clutch. Wow. Yeah,
Definitely made the right choice.
yeah. It cures you of
Absolutely.
all curses and
Got-
diseases and everything.
It cut and I missed it. But did
Right.
I get credit for something?
Yeah, you picked correctly on which one to use what spell, because it would have meant that if I had been revived by the Malt Masters,
True
I would have
resurrection.
lost Werebear.
Yeah, so if you'd have been resurrected using the resurrection or true resurrection spell, you would have
Accidental
lost werebear because it basically removes all curses.
Yeah,
Accidentally brilliant from Ender.
accidentally brilliant.
So yeah, well that is
Superb.
Ander through and through. Accidentally brilliant.
Yeah,
That's a lost.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a
nice.
nice break today. So I feel like we've had a lot of intensity and then
Yeah.
just a nice slow episode.
As I say, I mean, I'm
leading up into episode 52.
I was about to say, I mean, maybe 51's going to be quite the RP
fair,
heavy
though,
episode, but
Pretty heavy. I would say.
True.
yeah.
So
Well, we had to
pretty
get
heavy.
people back.
Yeah.
There were some nuggets of information there as well, which you may have glossed over, but certain things got revealed throughout the episode, as I always do. Just
Well, also,
tease you with shit.
our lost over was the fact that I volunteered a blood by of sacrifice. That's a lot of that's good progression in our between Ander and Kieran.
Really
Yeah,
is.
absolutely.
Really is.
Really is.
Maybe he's gonna chat about that at some point.
Indeed.
It's going to be fun.
Guilt,
Right then.
Okay, everyone. Let's do that then, shall we? There we go. Right. Thank you ever so much for tuning in to Malt, Magic and More on this lovely Wednesday evening. I hope you have enjoyed it and us chatting about our most recent episode, which was aired on Monday night. Come along on Twitch every Monday night to see our main campaign, and Wednesday night to see Malt, Magic and More. The videos are then put up on YouTube the same week, so we hope that you find it on whichever is more preferable to you. Give us a follow, a like, and subscribe. It's completely free to you guys. It really helps us out, so really appreciate it. Other than that, thank you ever so much for tuning in, and we hope you have a lovely rest of the week. See ya.